Hi guys, welcome to this video on some cool concepts in JavaScript. And if you are learning JavaScript and if you want to improve your skills in JavaScript, you can watch this video till the end. And after watching this video, go check out my channel, the playlist JavaScript. And in that playlist, I have created a video on JavaScript tips and tricks. It's a long 46 minutes video and that contains a lot of cool stuff related to JavaScript. But before that, watch this video and I will talk about some cool stuff and concepts inside it. So this is for beginners who are learning JavaScript or wants to learn JavaScript. This is quite a good video for them. So first of all, I want to talk about variables, that how the variables are created in the memory and how the JavaScript is understood by the browser. So first of all, I'm going to create a variable here. Let's say that var a and hello programming, and this is the variable have been created. The reason I have created this HTML file and added the reference of the script over here because I want to run this application on the browser and want to show you how this script is going to be understood by the browser which I'm writing here. So first of all, I'm using an extension live server which I can open up in here. So open with live server, I can click on it and it will open up our app on this browser. So currently it's not showing anything. I'm gonna go to the inspect tab, go to the console and let's refresh. It's not actually printing anything. The reason is that we are not console logging over here. So but if we are writing this dot a, you can see that it has printed hello programming, and we can write window dot a. You can see that it has printed hello programming over here. Let me zoom in. And this variable and window variable actually contains all the global variables which exists, and it can be our variables, it can be our functions, and it can be of any type of variable that we create over here. But this actually contains more than this. If we go to the function, these are all called the browser APIs which we can use, and these are some built-in local storage, cookies, session, history, and all these things can be used in our app. So we can write the window dot and we can access all the browser APIs which is existing over here. You can see all the events for the mouse, keyboard. Next thing I want to talk about the functions. So function, I'm going to write print me and let's log something. So hello programming from function. Okay, but before that, let me log that a variable above this, and also I'm going to call that function print me before I have created that function. So let's save this file. I can actually go ahead and let's refresh. Now you can see that the first log actually printed undefined. The second log I have printed whatever is written on this inside this function. So what is the difference? In JavaScript, every line is read by one. So this is the first line, second line, this fourth line, and this is the function. So in terms of variables, if we have not defined that variable before the place where we are using it, then it will throw an undefined error in case of the variable type var. It is not the case with let, but in case of functions, even if you create the function after you are using it, it will still find that function by going through that file. So this is the difference, and this concept is called JavaScript hoisting, that the variables needs to be defined before these are used, and function can be defined even after these are used, right? So I hope that you have got an idea. So let's try to learn about what are the different types of variables. So let me create a variable with first let's try to copy paste again in this, and I'm going to add it again with another variable, but I'm going to change the type of it to let, and here I'm going to change the variable name to b. All right, so let's now run this on the browser, and now you can see that it has actually printed this undefined, and obviously it's because of this we are actually using it before it is initialized. And in terms of variable of type let's see what happens. So you can see that it has actually thrown an error for the C. So what is the difference? Both are same. We are using the variables before they are actually initialized, but one is with the var keyword, other one is with the let keyword. So when you define the let keyword after you are using it, it will throw an error and sometimes it can crash your application. But it is not the case with the var keyword. It will just initialize that variable with the undefined if it does not find it before the lines where it is printing that. All right, so remember that when you are writing your code, you have to define the variables within the functions using the let keyword before they are getting used, but define the variables which needs to be global outside those functions. Define it with the var keyword. All right, and we want those var variables outside the functions to be available in the browser as well. And for the functions, these variables are only accessible within these functions, so always try to initialize the variable within these functions. All right, so now I want to talk about if we want to add multiple scripts in our HTML. Let's say that I've created this new file script2.js and I've added it after I've added the script 1 over here. Currently in script 2 it is empty and it will not show anything obviously in the browser. Let's try to access the variables which I've added in the script 1 and try to access and print its value of the variable a in the script2.js. So I'm going to write the console log and I'm going to name it just so that we understand it's coming from the script 1. And I'm going to just save this file. Let's go, let's refresh, and here you can see that it has printed script 2 hello programming and it is coming from the script 2. So we have understood that we can pass the variables from the script 1 and use it in the script 2, but the sequence of how we initialize and add our script also matters. If I try to load the script 2 before the script 1 like this, okay, so now let's go ahead to browser and see what it shows. So it is throwing an error that a is not defined. It means that script 2 is executing before the script.js file and it is finding a which is not even defined in this file, and it is defined after that script 2 executed and it exists in the script.js file. But there is one difference, that in this file we were trying to log variable a which we defined after we are actually printing it. In this case it is actually printing the undefined over here, but in this case the a is not defined over here, but it is not even defined in this file as well. So it is actually throwing an error. So this is the difference. When you have same file and you define the variable after it is printing, then it will show undefined, but you are trying to print that variable value from another file, then it will throw an error. One last thing I would like to mention here, that JavaScript is not really a script type language, means it will not enforce you to define the types before defining the variables. So let's first try to cut and print after this, and I'm going to remove that var keyword before a. And if I save this and let's refresh, you can see that it has actually printed hello programming even though I did not added any var keyword. Okay, but it's always a good practice to write let, var or const keyword before defining variables. So we want JavaScript to enforce us to add these variable types. So what we can do is we can add the use strict string at the top. So what it will do is it will enforce us to define the types after this. So if I go over here, you can see that it is actually throwing an error that a is not defined. It's because that we are not using the var keyword before a. So let's try to save it now, and now you can see that here it is printing hello programming. So when you are writing JavaScript, you always want to follow the same concepts and the same standards while writing the code. Always use the use script keyword at the top so you can write the better code in the JavaScript. So that's it for this video. This video was for beginners, and I hope that you have liked and understood the concept which I have discussed in this video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you in the next videos.